Hello guys, Yasir Khan here, and in this video I will be discussing the differences between having a job and doing your own business. I keep getting questions from people who have jobs asking me how they can start their own business and whether they should continue doing a job or they should start their own thing. Now, what most people don't realize is that there is a huge difference. There's a fundamental difference between having a job and doing a business. They're not at all the same thing, which means that if you are doing a job and you want to start your own thing, you can't think of your own thing as your job. They just aren't the same at all. Okay, this is why 3%, less than 3% of the population are business owners, and the rest of them are doing jobs. Okay, and the thing with the job is that irrespective of how much they pay you, the concept is that you are working in the system of another person. All right, so let's take an example. My dad is a mechanical engineer. Assuming that he gets a job in, well, it's the same for every country. Assuming that he has a job, that job is an indication that he is working in the system, in the systems of another person. Now, that person would have probably started that company 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, but it doesn't change the fact that my dad is working in the system, in a system designed by someone else. And that system is designed to help the person who created or who still manages it. In other words, the shareholders of the company or the founding members of the company. This is a very important distinction that most people don't understand. Whenever you're doing a job, whenever, there's almost no exception to this case, first of all, you're not making as much money as you should actually be making, because your output, if your output is a lot, chances are it is, they will pay you 10 to 20% of whatever you're contributing to the company in terms of your effort. Okay, the other thing to understand is that because it is a system, the odds are stacked against you. Okay, it is not your system, you are working in someone else's system. Okay, let's assume that you work at a theater. Okay, that theater, that cinema, is someone else's system. Let's assume that you are a real estate agent. Well, you're working with a brokerage, and that brokerage started using a system a long time ago, and you're working in the system. I'm not going to say as a replaceable cog, because that might or might not be true depending on the job that you're doing, but the chances of you having real power when doing a job is, I mean, they're minimal, right? On the other hand, when you have a business, when you have your own business, you are creating your own system. And that's why once the business expands, you can hire people and they will work as 9 to 5 employees in your system. And that's how you make the most money, because you're using other people's time, money, resources, and talents, and you are getting a big chunk of, of the return on their efforts. Okay. Now, the other day, a gentleman messaged me on one of my videos saying that some jobs get you to think. And that's true. Some jobs do get you to think, but most jobs don't. Okay? It's called a job for a reason. If you look carefully, if you take some time to look at the different jobs out there, you will see that the vast majority of people doing the jobs are not really thinking about what they're doing. They've been told to do a certain something according to a standing operating procedure, and they're doing it. They're not thinking about it. A clerk is not going to think about what he's doing. A government officer is definitely not going to think about what they're doing. Okay? They know what to do. There's no thinking involved. The same thing is with a senior mechanical engineer, even a dentist, doctors. Please understand that a job is a job because for the most part, it does not require a lot of strategic thinking. The only exception to that case is maybe a chief executive officer, those really senior positions, which people get secure by the time they're 55 or 60. Okay, those might be the ones where you have to think, because you're thinking about the strategy of the company, the mission statement, the vision, all that stuff. Okay, all the other people, they're not doing any thinking. They're doing whatever they're told to do. So you have a choice here. Either you can do a job and be told what to do, or you can start your own thing where you get to tell yourself what to do. Of course, the risk with starting a business is higher, especially if you don't know what you're doing, which is the case with most people. They jump into a business, they have no clue how a business runs, they've never run a business in their lives. Their family members have never ever even touched a business. They're all salaried persons, and then they expect this business to start making money, and that's not going to happen. Okay, it takes every single thing that is worthwhile will need for you to learn a new skill set and to be patient and to have perseverance. If you don't have that, you won't succeed. It's very simple. Okay, but yeah, the short answer is that there is no commonality between a job and a business. A person who owns a business and a person who does a job are fundamentally two different people. They're very different. To be a business owner, you have to be a strategic thinker. You have to have a very high output. You have to make sure you don't waste time. You have to associate with the right people. You have to get the right skills. You have to think for yourself. You have to fight off the tax man. You have to file your own taxes sometimes. You have to talk to your accountant. You have to make sure supplies last. You have to do a ton of different things. The most important thing is that you have to become a visionary. If you have a person with a job, they are okay with someone else telling them what to do, and they're okay with someone else telling them that this is what your time is worth every single hour or every single day. Okay, there's almost no thinking on a job. That's why it's called a job, and it's a definite path to mediocrity. Okay, so the decision's up to you. Of course, it's gonna take willpower and persistence to get your first business up and running. But as always, in my previous video, I mentioned that there's a cost to every single thing out there. There's not a single thing out there which does not have a cost and benefit or drawback associated with it. So if you want to start your own thing, you have to understand that for a couple of years, you might not even understand what you're doing. It really depends on who you are as a person. But once the first business starts working and making you money, then you can live your life unlike other people. You don't have to get up in the morning and run to the office. You don't have to come back at 7 at night. Okay? So please, guys, understand that this is a trade-off. Let me know if you have any questions. I think this is the end of the video. Pretty sure I covered everything. And yeah, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment if you have any questions. And I'll get right back with you, okay? Thank you. Take care.